Roseville, California is Union Pacific's main classification center for freight traffic in and out of Northern California. Following Union Pacific's acquisition of the Southern Pacific in 1996, the railroad leveled Roseville Yard and completely renovated the facility, which was officially dedicated as J.R. Davis Yard on May 26, 1999. That year and the years following was a period of great variety in and out of Roseville, as the flurry of mergers and power shortages in the 90s left the railroads very colorful. And with this being the pre-evolution series era, there is no shortage of second and third generation motive power pulling the trains. It is hard to find a better way to start off with two SD40-2s sandwiching a GP40-2 coming into the yard. This GP38-2 is still in its as-delivered UP paint as it departs heading east. The UP was slow to paint and patch at first, and here a pair of SP SD70Ms come into the yard with that classic Nathan P3 blaring. The start of the new millennium was also the beginning of the end of the C30-7s on the UP. UP 474 comes in on the point of a westbound. This unit was originally numbered 2478 and was built by GE in January of 1980. Trailing the C30-7 is an SD60M and two SD40-2s. Another westbound comes into the yard with a trio of SD40-2s and a C40-8 trailing fourth. Westbound piggybacks scream through the yard behind a Triclops. A pair of GP15s do some full throttle switching. The Rockland Rocket comes back into the yard with cotton belt and speed lettered GP40-2s for power. Two SD40-2s sandwich an AC4400 and an SP SD40M-2 as they leave Roseville heading east. Another Triclops leads a stack train into the yard with a Rio Grande tunnel motor third out in the consist. A Spartan Cab SD60 leads this westbound into the yard, trailed by a pair of SD40-2s and an SP tunnel motor. Another SD40-2 leaves Roseville trailed by a C40-8. Another Triclops screams through on the point of some piggybacks. With the voice of its original Leslie still intact, this Triclops is leading a very interesting consist on this stack train. Trailing the SD60M is a repainted UP tunnel motor and a pair of UP's short-lived SD90 Mac H's. An SD50 and a UP painted tunnel motor hustle through Roseville on westbound auto racks. Another pair of SD40-2s with a C40-8 leave with an eastbound. The voice of classic SP is on this train leaving Roseville as an AC 4400 leads a UP SD 40-2 and an SP tunnel motor out of the yard. BNSF was granted run-through agreements over Donner Pass following the UP-SP merger, and here the wrong 4449 leads an Oakway SD60 eastbound through Roseville. An SP AC 4400 leads a Chicago Northwestern and UP-8 off of the East Valley line. Another SD 40-2 pair with a C 40-8 head east out of Roseville. A UP-8 comes into Roseville on a westbound, trailed by a Chicago Northwestern -9 as it passes power working the yard. A very interesting no two units the same consist comes into Roseville. Trailing the Chicago Northwestern -8 is an SP AC 4400, a UP B40-8, and a UP SD60M. A pair of SP SD70Ms run light to the east end of the yard as they head for the house. SP-8232 comes into Roseville on a westbound. This unit is one of the famous Roseville 99 repaints. An SP-SD40M-2 leads an SD60M and a We Will Deliver painted GP38-2 into Roseville. Patched and repainted equipment is becoming more common as this Snoot SD40-2 leads a C40-8, an SP SD40M-2, and a UP tunnel motor into the yard. A pair of untouched Warbonnet -8s lead the Stockton to Denver BNSF run-through out of Roseville. Another eclectic group of power arrives into the yard. This SP-SD70M is trailed by a UP C40-8, an SD60M, and an SP tunnel motor that is sandwiched by a pair of UP C40-8Ws. Another westbound comes into the yard led by an SP tunnel motor and a pair of UP SD40-2s. More road power is shuffled around, and in this group of light units is an SP SD70M, a UP SD60, and a Cotton Belt GP60. Another westbound comes into the yard with a Snoot SD40-2 leading a pair of SP tunnel motors. In 1999, there were several tunnel motors that were slated to be repainted into Union Pacific yellow. With the Southern Pacific's merger with the UP having only occurred 3 years prior, needless to say, the older SP crews were not happy about repainting these units into yellow. And so under the radar, 11 of these units were repainted into a simplified SP Scarlet and Gray paint scheme which eliminated the wings on the nose and just had the simple SP lettering on the long hood. The guys in the suits at Omaha were not very happy about this, while everyone else rejoiced. Some foreign power on this eastbound grain train, as the C40-8 leads a Norfolk Southern SD60 and a Norfolk Southern C40-9W. The Rockland Rocket heads out of Roseville with a Cotton Belt GP40M-2 and a Rio Grande GP40 for power. Things are getting a little more yellow around here as a UP SD70M leads a patched SP-9, a Cotton Belt GP60, and a UP-9 into the yard. The C36-7s were also rolling out their final miles during this time. UP 9004 is trailed by an SD40-2, a Cotton Belt GP60, and a C41-8W. Another C36-7 is being shuffled around. Coupled behind UP2621 are a pair of Dash 8s in UP and Chicago Northwestern paint. Three SD40-2s, an AC6000, and a Dash 9 roll out of Roseville with eastbound auto racks. A piggyback train rolls west with an SP tunnel motor, a UP SD60, and an SP SD70M for power. The TOFC meets an eastbound with a mix of UP-8 and Dash 9 power. An SD60M leads a C40-8 sandwiched between two SD40-2s eastbound out of Roseville with a grain train. A pair of patched Rio Grande GP40-2s are assigned to the Folsom turn. As the decade of the 2000s progressed, the UP dug in their heels, patching and repainting their fallen flag units. UP 1365 would receive its coat of UP yellow in 2005. 1370 was a little more lucky and survived the entire decade in its Rio Grande colors before finally receiving its yellow treatment by 2012. One of the Roseville 99 repaints is seen peeking behind the Jeeps as they continue with their switching. An eastbound heads out of Roseville with an SD60M, an SD40-2, and a Chicago Northwestern -9 as the Folsom turn power runs light to go tie up for the day. The Rockland Rocket returns to Roseville with a Rio Grande GP40 and a Cotton Belt GP40R. This eastbound has a very notable second unit. UP-C41-8W 9457 leads an SP B30-7, a UP SD40-2, and a UP painted tunnel motor out of the yard. A westbound coming into the yard with an SP SD70M and a UP SD60 rounds out this look at Roseville from 1999 to 2001.